So this came today. It'd been on back order for a little while, so I'd almost forgotten what I had ordered. uh, but let's open it up and see what's inside. So what we have here is a gated shifter for the Razor XP1000 from SuperATV. So what this does is locks out park and high so that you can quickly shift from reverse to low without any guesswork. Now there's several different gated shifters out there. This one here, I was actually kind of intrigued with the mechanism. I'm not a fan of the ones that have a lever on them, but I kind of like this style, and price point is actually one of the lower cost options out there for a gated shifter, so I figured I'd give it a try. Now SuperATV has a pretty good installation video for this product, so I'm not going to go into huge detail on the installation, but I'm going to install it, and then if I run into any issues or if there's anything to note in the installation, we'll discuss that. And I'm going to try to put some time in on it on the trail and discuss how well it works.
So I just got back from spending a full day riding with this gated shifter on the machine for the first time, and I really liked it. It worked well. I feel it took a lot of fatigue out of a full day's riding and cured me of my bad habit of riding in high more often than I should. Now I want to make a couple of small adjustments to this just to suit my own personal preference, so I'm going to uninstall it to do that, as well as it will allow me to more closely show you a couple of small problems that I found with the installation. So with the shifter removed, I can show you where the installation video makes an error, and it has to do with these bushings which come from your original shifter. You reuse them here. There's two of them. One goes on the back side of the shifter, which is correct. The second one is where the error is made in the video. They instruct you to take this adjustment nut out and place the bushing inside the shifter. That is incorrect. The bushing needs to go in this nut, so that when you then install the nut, this retaining ring goes on top. I watched the video a couple times to be 100% sure. They definitely make a mistake there in recommending that the bushing go in here when it should go in here. And they also, in the video, do that out of order a little bit. He instructs you to adjust the adjustment nut and tighten it down as you put the retaining clip on afterwards, and the first part is impossible without the retaining clip on. That's just a simple little out of order mistake there. Could even have just been done in the way they edited the video, and someone actually pointed it out in the comments on the video. So this next bit is just my own personal preference. What we have here is the plate that the shifter keys into, and I'm just being a little anal about the adjustment. This point right here is your low range stop, and this distance between here and here is the distance between your low range and your reverse, and it's adjustable, which makes sense. Every machine is going to be a little bit different, but on my rig, the distance from low to reverse is quite short, and I'm having to adjust this out so far that I'm basically on the last one or two threads of the adjustment bolt, which is in here. and it just makes this block very sloppy, and I feel like it's destined to fall out even with some Loctite on it. I've tried a couple different ways of adjusting it, and playing with the adjustments on the machine, and just not able to really make any difference there. No matter what, the distance between low and reverse never changes. This offers about 1/8 of adjustment practically. If you go beyond 1/8, then you get into a bit iffy territory. Essentially, for me, this block is not big enough. It needs to be a little bit longer. So what I'm going to do is take it off, throw a couple tacks to build up the surface on the end here, regrind it nice and flat, and essentially try to make this block about 1/8 of an inch longer than it is, and it should solve my problems anyways. So I have finished building up this block a little bit on the end. I'm going to go ahead and reinstall it on the mount and reinstall the shifter and see how badly I've messed it up. Okay, so I've got everything reinstalled but putting the console back together. And right now it's in park. So now that I'm in reverse, you can see I still had to adjust this block out about 1/8 of an inch. So if I hadn't had the additional material, I would have had this block adjusted out almost to where it was right at the edge of that little lip there, and only a couple of threads holding it. So this actually worked out pretty good. Low, pull up on the lever, and you're in high. So it's all back together. Low, reverse, no problems. Lift up, high gear, slam it forward if you really need to get to reverse quick in a rollover situation. You're in reverse, lift up, you're in park. I find it makes a full day's of riding a little less fatiguing, especially if you get into a sticky situation, but you keep hitting high gear instead of low, and you're smoking your belt.
Smoked it. Smoked the belt.
This will fix that problem for you. Other than a couple little oversights in the installation instructions, the modification that I did was really a personal preference. It certainly worked without doing that modification to the adjustment block. And to sum up, I like it. I like it a lot.